What if I told you there's a 5-minute ritual you can do right before sleep that rewires your mind to attract money, love, and opportunities without lifting a finger? Most people do it wrong, and that's why nothing changes. But tonight you'll learn the exact steps. Sleep isn't just for rest, it's the most powerful window to reprogram your subconscious. Think about it, your brain doesn't shut off when you sleep. It gets more active, sorting memories, emotions, and beliefs. What if you could hack that process? What if instead of replaying the same worries, you could plant seeds of abundance, confidence, and success? That's what this ritual does. And it takes less time than brushing your teeth. The science behind sleep manifestation. Your subconscious mind is most active right before you fall asleep. This isn't just some spiritual idea. It's science. When you're lying in bed, halfway between awake and asleep, your brain shifts into theta wave state. This is the same brainwave frequency that hypnotherapists use to help people break bad habits or install new beliefs. Why? Because in theta, your critical mind, the part that doubts, overthinks, and resists, goes quiet. Your subconscious, the part that controls 95% of your behavior, becomes wide open. It's like a sponge, soaking up whatever you feed it, without question. Most people don't realize this. They spend their last waking moments scrolling through social media, watching stressful news or replaying arguments in their heads. Then they wonder why they wake up anxious, why life feels like an uphill battle. They don't realize they're programming their mind for struggle without even knowing it. Think about it, every night you're already manifesting. The problem is, you're doing it by accident. Your brain replays the same worries, the same fears, the same old stories, and those loops become your reality. But what if instead of letting your mind run on autopilot, you took control? What if you used those last few minutes before sleep to plant the seeds of what you actually want? That's where this ritual comes in. It's not about forcing anything. It's about working with your brain's natural rhythms to rewrite the programs that aren't serving you. The key is repetition. Your subconscious learns through repetition, just like how you learn to ride a bike or tie your shoes. At first, it feels awkward, but over time, it becomes automatic. That's why affirmations work, but only if you say them when your mind is receptive. Most people recite them during the day, when their logical mind is wide awake, scoffing at the words. But at night, when theta waves kick in, that's when the real magic happens. The words bypass the filter of doubt and go straight to the source. This isn't just theory. Studies on sleep learning have shown that people who listen to recordings of new vocabulary words while in theta state remember them faster. Another study found that patients who visualized their healing process before sleep recovered quicker than those who didn't. Your brain doesn't shut off when you sleep. It gets to work. It consolidates memories, processes emotions, and if you guide it, starts aligning your reality with your deepest intention. So tonight, instead of letting your mind wander into worry, you'll guide it. You won't just fall asleep hoping for a better tomorrow. You'll program it. And the best part, it takes less than 5 minutes. No complicated techniques, no expensive courses, just you, your mind, and a simple method that's been used for centuries, even if modern science is only now catching up to why it works. The 60-second mental sweep. Before you can plant new seeds, you have to clear the weeds. That's what this step is for. The moment your head hits the pillow, you're going to do a quick but powerful mental sweep. Close your eyes. Start at the top of your head. Notice any tension there. Maybe a slight pressure, a tightness you didn't even realize was there. Now, imagine breathing into that spot, not just inhaling but sending your breath directly to that tension, like warm water melting ice. As you exhale, let it go. Move down to your forehead. Same thing. Breathe in, soften, release your jaw. So many people hold stress here without knowing it. Relax it. Let your teeth part slightly. Your shoulders, are they creeping up toward your ears? Lower them. Your stomach, is it clenched? Soften it. This isn't just about physical relaxation. It's about signaling to your nervous system that it's safe to let go. Most people go to bed with their bodies in a state of low-grade stress, as if they're still bracing for something. That tension sends a message to your brain. Be on guard. Danger might be coming. And when your brain thinks there's danger, it holds on to the very patterns you're trying to change. So this 60-second sweep is like hitting the reset button. Now, as you scan your body, silently say, I release everything that's not mine to carry. You don't have to force meaning into the words. Just say them lightly, like you're brushing off dust, the weight of other people's opinions, the stress of things you can't control, the old stories that play on loop. None of that belongs to you in this moment. You're clearing space. Some people rush this part. They think, I don't have time, I just want to get to the manifestation part. But this step is what makes the rest work. Imagine trying to plant a garden in soil that's full of rocks and weeds. You might get a few sprouts, but nothing will thrive. This 60-second sweep is your way of preparing the soil. It's not just about relaxation. It's about deleting the day's junk files, so your subconscious has room to install new programs. You might notice thoughts popping up. Did I send that email? What if tomorrow goes wrong? Don't fight them, just acknowledge them, then return to the sweep. This isn't about emptying your mind completely. That's impossible. It's about gently redirecting your focus to the present. By the time you reach your toes, you should feel heavier, as if the bed is holding you a little more. That's your cue that you're ready for the next step. This whole process takes less than a minute, but it's the foundation of everything that follows. Skip it and your manifestations will feel like they're fighting against resistance. Do it and you'll notice things start flowing with less effort, because when your body and mind are truly at ease, that's when the real magic happens. The future memory technique. The difference between wishing and truly believing comes down to one thing: memory. Not the kind you look back on, but the kind you create before it happens. This is where most people get stuck. They try to visualize what they want, but it feels distant, like a daydream that never quite materializes. That's because they're doing it from the outside looking in, seeing themselves in the future rather than experiencing it as if it's already here. The trick isn't to imagine your desire, it's to remember it. Close your eyes and think of something you want, not as a goal, not as something you're chasing, but as something that's already yours. If it's money, don't picture yourself working for it or hoping it comes. Instead, feel the weight of your phone in your hand as the payment notification pops up. Hear the sound it makes. Notice the way your chest expands slightly, the little smirk that tugs at the corner of your mouth, because of course this is normal for you now. Money comes easily, it's not a surprise anymore. It's just how things are. That's the shift. You're not trying to convince yourself of something new. You're simply recalling how your life feels now that it's already happened. If it's love, don't imagine meeting someone that keeps it in the future. Instead, feel the warmth of their hand in yours right now. The way their fingers interlock with yours without thinking. The sound of their laugh from the other room. The quiet comfort of knowing they're there. Not because you're lucky, but because this is just how your life is. You're not dreaming it up, you're remembering it. The brain doesn't distinguish between real and imagined. When the emotion is strong enough, that's why you can watch a movie and feel your heart race during a chase scene, even though you're safe on your couch. Your body reacts as if it's real because in that moment, to your nervous system, it is. The same rule applies here. If you can summon the feeling, not the idea, not the hope, but the actual physical sensation, your subconscious accepts it as fact. And once something is a fact in your mind, your reality has no choice but to rearrange itself to match. Most people rush this part. They spend a few seconds skimming the surface of the image, then move on. That's like planting a seed and digging it up an hour later to see if it grew. It doesn't work that way. You need to marinate in the feeling. 2 full minutes might not sound like much, but when you're fully immersed, it's an eternity. Your job isn't to figure out how it'll happen. Your job is to surrender to the sensation of it already being done. You'll know you're doing it right when the image doesn't feel like a fantasy anymore. It starts to carry the same weight as a real memory. That's the sweet spot. That's when the shift happens. The 3-word mantra loop. Complexity is the enemy of change. The more words you use, the more your logical mind gets involved. Picking apart meanings, questioning phrasing, turning something simple into a debate. Your subconscious doesn't work that way. It thrives on repetition, rhythm, and simplicity. That's why children's rhymes stick in your head for decades. They're short, they're catchy, and they bypass the need for analysis. This step is about distilling your desire down to its essence. 3 words, no more. Not a sentence, not a paragraph. 3 words that carry the full weight of what you're calling Imani flows easily. I am chosen. Love finds me. The simpler, the better. You're not writing a poem. You're creating a signal, so clear, so direct, that your subconscious can't misinterpret it. Once you have your phrase, you'll repeat it like a lullaby as you drift off. Not forcefully, not like you're trying to convince yourself, but softly, slowly, the way you'd hum a song you've known forever. There's no effort here. You're not pushing the words into your mind. You're letting them sink in on their own. This is where most people overcomplicate things. They think more words mean more power. They craft elaborate affirmations, trying to cover every angle, every possible outcome. But the subconscious doesn't need details. It needs clarity. 3 words, repeated with feeling, will always beat 3 paragraphs of perfect logic. The rhythm is key. Match the words to your breathing, if you can. Inhale, exhale, phrase. Inhale, exhale, phrase. It's not about speed. It's about sinking deeper into the feeling behind the words with each repetition. By the time you fall asleep, the phrase should feel like part of you, something you've always known. And here's the secret. You don't have to stay awake until it works. In fact, the moment you drift off is when the real work begins. Your brain will keep processing those words all night, weaving them into your neural pathways, making them part of your default programming. That's why you don't need long affirmations. 3 words, looped with intention, are enough to rewrite everything. You'll know it's working when you wake up and the phrase feels natural, like something you've always believed. That's when you'll start seeing the shifts, small at first, then undeniable. Because once your subconscious accepts those 3 words as truth, your reality has no choice but to follow. The no resistance rule. The moment you finish this ritual and close your eyes, something in you will want to peek, to check, to see if it worked. That impulse, that need to know right now, is the exact thing that stops the magic from happening. It's like planting a seed in the soil and then digging it up every hour to see if it's grown yet. You wouldn't do that with a real seed, because you know it needs time, darkness, and trust to sprout. Your desires are no different. This is where most people fail. They do the ritual once, maybe twice, and when they don't wake up to a miracle, they decide it doesn't work. But the truth is, it's not the ritual that failed. It's their inability to let go of the how, the when, and the why. The universe doesn't respond to force. It responds to alignment, and alignment requires surrender. For the next 21 nights, your only job is to show up and do the ritual. Then let go completely. No checking your bank account the next morning to see if money appeared. No scanning your phone for texts from someone you're calling in. No analyzing every little coincidence to see if it's a sign. Those actions come from lack, from the fear that it's not working, and what you focus on expands. If you focus on lack, you get more lack. If you focus on trust, you get proof. Detachment isn't indifference. It's not pretending you don't care. It's knowing deep in your bones that what's yours will find you, and trying to control the process only pushes it away. Think of it like this. When you order food at a restaurant, you don't keep going into the kitchen to check if they're making it right. You trust that your meal will come. This is the same. You've placed your order with the universe. Now let it cook. The less you obsess, the faster it comes. That's not a spiritual platitude. It's energetic physics. Obsession is resistance. It's white-knuckling the steering wheel while pretending you're letting go. True detachment feels like relief, like exhaling after holding your breath, like knowing the sun will rise without you having to will it into the sky. Some days, you'll forget this rule. You'll catch yourself searching for evidence, and that's okay. When you notice it, just laugh at yourself, like you would at a kid who keeps opening the oven to see if the cookies are done. Then gently redirect your focus. The ritual is your action. The rest is not your business. By the 21st day, something will have shifted, maybe not in the way you expected, but in the way that's right, because the universe always gives you what you need, not what you think you want. And when you look back, you'll realize the waiting wasn't empty time. It was the cocoon. Why 3 a.m. is your secret weapon. There's a reason you keep waking up at 3 a.m. It's not insomnia. It's not stress. It's your subconscious ringing the doorbell, trying to deliver something important. Most people miss the call. They groan, check the clock, and spiral into thoughts about how tired they'll be tomorrow. But those who understand the power of this hour know 3 a.m. is when the veil is thinnest, when your mind is empty enough to receive. Science calls it the hypnopompic state, the fuzzy, half-awake haze between sleep and waking. In this state, your brain is flooded with theta waves, the same frequencies that make the sleep manifestation ritual so powerful. But there's a difference. At night, you're guiding yourself into theta. At 3 a.m., you're already there. It's a free pass, a backdoor, a moment when the universe leans in and whispers. When you wake up at this hour, don't fight it. Don't turn on the light or grab your phone. Just lie there in the dark, still half in the dream world, and say your 3-word mantra once, softly, like a secret. Then let yourself fall back asleep. That's it. No overthinking. No wondering if you did it right. The simpler, the better. This works because your critical mind, the part that doubts, is still offline. The mantra slips straight into your subconscious, like a drop of ink into water. By morning, it will have spread through your entire being, coloring your thoughts, your actions, your reality. People who master this trick report strange things. They'll wake at 3 a.m., whisper their mantra, and by afternoon, an opportunity lands in their lap. Or a person they've been thinking about reaches out, or a solution to a problem they'd forgotten about suddenly appears. These aren't coincidences. They're the universe responding to your signal when you're most receptive. If you're not waking up at 3 a.m. yet, don't force it. Set the intention before bed. If it serves me, I'll wake at the perfect hour to receive. Then forget about it. When it starts happening, you'll know, and when it does, remember, no checking the clock, no getting up, just the mantra, then back to sleep. The less you interfere, the more magic can move. This is your secret weapon, not because it's complicated, but because it's so stupidly simple that most people overlook it. But you know better. And soon, you'll know the results. The forbidden step, 90% skip this. Most people treat gratitude like a polite thank you note, something you do because you should, not because it actually works. But what if I told you gratitude isn't just good manners, it's the secret ingredient that makes everything else work faster? Here's why most miss it. They wait until they have what they want to feel grateful. That's backwards. The real power comes when you feel grateful first, as if it's already yours. Think about how you feel when someone truly appreciates you. You want to give them more, right? The universe works the same way. When you approach it with genuine gratitude, not the fake, I should be thankful kind, but the deep, chest-warming, can't help but smile kind, it responds by giving you more to be grateful for. This isn't mystical thinking, it's basic energy. What you appreciate. Here's how to do it right. In those last moments before sleep, after you've done your mental sweep, but before your mantra, take 30 seconds to feel thankful. Not just think it, feel it. If you're calling in money, feel the relief of bills being paid easily. If it's love, feel the comfort of knowing you're cherished. The key, activate the physical sensations. The lightness in your chest, the relaxation in your shoulders, the warmth in your belly. Your body doesn't understand words, but it understands feelings. When you generate those feelings consistently, your reality has no choice but to match them. Most people skip this because it feels like lying to themselves. How can I be grateful for something I don't have? But that's exactly the point. The act of feeling grateful before the evidence appears is what creates the evidence. It's not deception, it's creation. The more you practice this, the thinner the line becomes between pretending and remembering. What starts as imagination becomes memory, becomes reality. The magic happens in the gap between thank you for and thank you most. Say, thank you for what I have. Masters say, thank you that it's already done. This subtle shift changes everything. One keeps you stuck in your current reality. The other pulls your future to you. Try it tonight, not as an extra step, but as the bridge between clearing your mind and planting your intention. You'll notice the difference in days, not weeks. When to quit? Yes, really. Here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Sometimes you need to stop, not because the process doesn't work, but because you're doing it wrong and don't realize it. If after 21 consistent nights you see zero movement, not even a whisper of change, it's not the universe ignoring you. It's you missing one of two critical pieces. First possibility, your words have no juice. I want money is weak because it focuses on lack. Money comes easily, is better, but still meh. Money loves me. Now we're talking. Your mantra should make your stomach flutter when you say it. like when you think about someone you're crazy about. If it doesn't stir anything in you, it won't stir anything in the universe either. The words aren't magic. The feeling they create is test different phrases until one gives you that oh moment in your gut. That's the one. Second possibility. You don't actually believe it's possible. Your conscious mind might say, of course I believe, but your subconscious is running a different program. This shows up in subtle ways, joking about being broke while trying to manifest abundance, or rolling your eyes when saying your love mantra. Your subconscious is literal. If part of you thinks this is silly or won't work for you, that part will sabotage every effort. The fix. Scale down. If I'm a millionaire feels like a lie. Try money finds me in surprising ways. Find a version you can say without inner resistance. Start where you are, not where you think you should be. Here's how to know which problem you have. If saying your mantra out loud makes you uncomfortable or fake feeling, it's the words. If you can say it easily but nothing changes, it's your belief. Either way, the solution is the same. Adjust and continue. This isn't failure. It's tuning your instrument. Even master violinists need to adjust their strings sometimes. Your mind is no different. The biggest mistake isn't quitting too soon. It's continuing blindly without course correcting. If after 3 weeks of honest effort, no skipping nights, no going through motions, you're stuck, pause, re-examine your words, check your belief, then begin again, this time with phrases that resonate and a commitment to suspend the doubt just for those few minutes before sleep. That small shift is often all it takes to unlock everything. The black hole warning. Let me tell you something that might sting a little. You can't manifest your way out of the energy you're putting out all day. That 5 minutes before bed. It's powerful, but it's not a magic wand that overrides the other 16 hours you're awake. Think of it like this. If you spend 5 minutes planting seeds in a garden, but then pour poison on them the rest of the day, don't be surprised when nothing grows. Your daytime thoughts and words are either watering what you planted at night or killing it before it has a chance. This is where most people get tripped up. They do the ritual perfectly, then spend their days saying things like I'm always broke, or nothing good ever happens to me, or why does this never work for me, and wonder why their reality doesn't change. Your subconscious doesn't understand sarcasm or joking complaints. Every time you say, I'm so poor, even as a joke, you're programming your mind just as powerfully as your nighttime ritual, except in the wrong direction. Energy flows where attention goes, period. If 90% of your attention is on lack and 10% is on abundance, guess which one wins? Here's how to fix it. Start noticing your casual words throughout the day. Not to police yourself into positivity. That's exhausting. But to become aware of what you're actually reinforcing. When you catch yourself complaining or doubting, don't beat yourself up. Just pivot. I'm always broke becomes money comes to me in unexpected ways. Nothing good happens to me becomes good things are always finding me. It's not about lying to yourself. It's about redirecting the energy. The more you do this, the more natural it becomes, until your default setting shifts from lack to flow. The real test isn't whether you can do the nighttime ritual perfectly, it's whether you can maintain that energy during your daily life. When someone asks how you are, do you automatically complain, or do you find something genuine to appreciate? When you check your bank account, do you tense up with worry, or do you feel thankful for what's there and open to more? These micro moments are where the real work happens. The bedtime ritual sets the direction, but your daytime energy determines whether you actually arrive. This isn't about being perfect, it's about being aware. You'll still have bad days, stressful moments, doubts. That's human. The difference is catching yourself faster each time, redirecting quicker, spending less time in the mental states that cancel out your manifestations. Think of yourself as a radio tower. You want to broadcast a clear signal, not static. The clearer your signal, the clearer the result. Guard your thoughts like a guard dog, not with stress, but with alert awareness. What you allow into your mind is what will show up in your life. The one-day test. Here's the beautiful part. You don't have to wait weeks to know if this works. You'll feel it after one night if you do it right. But here's the catch. You have to approach it like an experiment, not a desperate plea. There's a world of difference between please let this work, and I wonder what will happen if I try this. One comes from lack, the other from curiosity, and the universe responds completely differently to each. Tonight, do this. Go through the full ritual, the mental sweep, the future memory, the gratitude, the mantra, but with this one shift in perspective. Pretend you're a scientist, conducting an interesting experiment, not invested in the outcome, just curious to observe what happens. This lightness removes the resistance that blocks most people. When you're not emotionally desperate for results, you're more open to receiving them in whatever form they come. When you wake up, don't go looking for proof. That's like shaking a present to guess what's inside. It ruins the surprise. Instead, go about your day normally, but with this subtle awareness. I wonder how this will show up. You're not hunting. You're allowing. The signs might be obvious or they might be subtle. A random check in the mail, an unexpected compliment, a sudden idea that solves a problem you've been having. The key is to notice without forcing meaning. The more you can maintain that relaxed, observant state, the more evidence you'll see. What you're really testing here isn't the universe. It's your own ability to trust and receive. Most people are so busy pushing for what they want that they never create space for it to arrive. This one-night experiment teaches you the art of allowing, whether you see dramatic results or just a tiny shift in your mood. That's valuable data. Either way, you win, because you're learning how your energy works, what blocks you, and how to move past it. The biggest mistake would be to judge the entire process based on this one night. Think of it instead like tasting a spoonful of soup to check the seasoning. It gives you valuable information to adjust as needed. Maybe you'll realize you need to tweak your mantra, or perhaps you'll discover you're more resistant to receiving than you thought. Whatever the result, it's useful, and that's the point. To approach this as a lifelong practice of self-discovery, not a one-time magic trick. Remember, the universe speaks in whispers first. If you're shouting with your thoughts, you'll miss the reply. This one-day test teaches you to listen. Try it tonight, not because you have to, but because you're curious what might happen. That slight shift in energy makes all the difference. This isn't another think positive trick. It's neuroscience meets ancient wisdom. Your mind is always manifesting, either by default or design. So why not steer the ship?